Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back in another video from Seth the Programmer. This is a very random one. So this is called The Case for Kid Goku Soloing Most Fiction. And he pretty much does. Pretty much does. Obviously, adult Goku from Super pretty much takes out nearly everything in existence in fiction. Kid Goku, though, pretty powerful. But let's see where this video goes. This seems like it's come out of nowhere. Let's just check what it's going on about.
Did you know I'm actually considered a Dragon Ball down player? Yeah. People actually think I consider Dragon Ball way weaker than it is implied to be narratively. Seems impressive, right? That's the programmer downplaying Dragon Ball. These days, things like the data book says 10,000 power level can blow up a planet, Cell can destroy a solar system, and 80 guidebooks, and Super Saiyan God has enough power in his punches to blow up the universe by the narrator doesn't really mean anything, because Goku is beyond dimensionality itself. If Goku went through the process of going through a square to a cube, and infinitely more in terms of power, he still wouldn't reach the level of strength that the community says he's truly at in just the Saiyan saga. To the point, physicality, space, time, distance, nothing means anything to Goku, even when he's facing off against Vegeta. Seems a bit strange. Wasn't Roshi known as the master who could destroy the moon? What happened to that? Now he can destroy basically a multiverse or a hyperverse or really any physical realm. This is based on the Daizenshu saying that the afterlife transcends dimensions and conceptually could transcend dimensions and things of the sort. Or, the subspace, which is sort of the space in which the Ruma Spirit in Time dwells, has no concept of space and time, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, Goku is racing through Snake Way, which is in this realm that transcends dimensions. Or even Tien shaking King Kai's planet in the filler, which is canon to the Daizenshu that states this.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Really, in Dragon Ball in general, in terms of Toriyama's own opinion. So, they will argue that the Saiyan Saga is the genesis to the most overpowered interpretation of Goku you've ever seen.
Okay.
Now, the problem with this, though, is that it doesn't just mean that Goku is stupidly overpowered. It means that Farmer with the Shotgun is probably stupidly overpowered.
Yeah.
So what I mean by
if you start scaling everyone, that
is you have Goku in the Saiyan Saga, the power level 8,000. He has a linear power level in comparison to Raditz and the Cybermen. This is a linear comparison as they linearly scale to Nappa, and Nappa linearly scales to Goku. And then, of course, Raditz has a linear scale to Star to Z Goku. Star to Z Goku has a linear scale to 23rd Budokai Goku. And, of course, 23rd Budokai Goku has a linear scale to King Piccolo Art Goku, who has a linear scale to 22nd Budokai Goku and Tien Shinhan, who has a linear scale to Mercenary Tao Fight Goku, who linearly scales to 21st Tenkaichi Budokai Goku, who linearly scales to Uzaru Goku and Grandpa Gohan.
This is interesting.
Now, this is the biggest cutoff point, as you could argue that Uzaru Goku is an unquantifiable multiplier, as no power level is really indicated in that. Sense. So there's no power level of 20 or 50 or anything in between Kid Goku of a 10 and Uzaru Goku at a 100. Now, what I mean by that is that a power level of 10 doesn't have to linearly scale to a power level of 100. This could be drastically more than 10 times, as there's no actual statement.
Yeah, we don't know what the multiplier is.
A power level increase of 10 times is linearly 10 times. I went over this in many, many, many videos, and it's just sort of common sense at this point. Obviously, a Farmer with a Shotgun with a power level of 5 is not actually a percent of King Piccolo's power at 260.
yeah.
This is just common sense.
Just funny.
So, power levels tend to be pretty
very
exponential,
valid.
Especially in the earlier
Love power
stages.
scaling.
So you could argue there's some type of exponential nature. However, many guidebooks seem to imply it's a 10 times increase. There's a missile that drops this Goku on his back. Poir is able to chop his tail off. He's still rampaging around the planet as if it's a linear increase. Also, a power level from 10 to 100 being some kind of infinite dimensional transcendence is a bit of a stretch. However, in Uzaru Goku's defense, Toriyama himself says that he doesn't know what to do. He can't actually handle the situation in the narrator panel. But most people will say that it is a linear increase to Kid Goku, and Kid Goku...
Mate, I love Diamond. I thought it was good.
Kid Goku is twice as strong as a human, using power levels and so on. Now, it's not actually far-fetched in this regard to keep Goku in this type of argument, as this Goku then goes on to not only scare Toriyama, his creator, with a 10 times power level increase, but he actually shatters his manga panel as well, further showing
that's one hell of a
really
feat.
Eclipsing Toriyama's pay grade. which seems very bizarre
Fourth
as
dimensional.
Toriyama himself was just writing a Raleigh who was fictionally transcending her series. Well, what if I told you, yeah, that's actually pretty consistent as well, as this Arale fictionally transcends her series, Dr. Slump, many, many, many times over. There's a chapter where she is thrown inside a cloner. She throws a picture inside a cloner, and it clones the entire universe and all these Arales. And
Craziness,
her fictional
like,
transcendence
yeah.
many, many, many times.
Obviously, it's a
very,
gag
very blatant.
manga, but
Arale is also a character that can run between fictions. It's been shown.
it's funny because people are like, you can't use this. It's a gag manga, but then like people will state Saitama from One Punch Man can do certain feats, and it's like that's also kind of a gag character as well. Just come on, just have fun with it. I love the fun power scaling. It's great.
Many times. And she's also able to run through time, arguably. And she's just generally a fictional transcendent character. Now, what's interesting is that the fact that Arale appears in Dragon Ball doesn't mean that the Dr. Slump universe takes place within the Dragon Ball universe. However, Arale making a cameo is probably the canon Arale that has gone through all the events of her story, as we see in Dragon Ball Super.
Okay, right. Where are we going with this?
Confrontation with Beerus, that is a future version of Arale who's gone through all the events of Dr. Slump. Meaning that this Arale that you see in Dragon Ball Super is the one that likely did the dimensional transcendence multiple times over. You'd have to make some weird case that this Arale is someone different. So Toriyama then makes a new series in this already transcendent verse. The second that he makes Dragon Ball, it's taking place in a higher dimension when you think about it. It's already transcending many fictions. And then Toriyama's scared of Uzaru, to then becoming stronger than Supreme Kai, to then cloning top tiers in the Buu Saga, to then creating Beerus and Zeno. So Toriyama himself then grows stronger as a mangaka as he's writing Kid Goku.
Legend.
Kid Goku can be so absolutely broken at the start of his series, and it still makes sense. Of course, most people with the brain will tell you, hey, maybe Kid Goku and, Goku in the Saiyan Saga just isn't outerversal. No, he's not surpassing all physicality or speed or the concept of space and time, when they're threatening to blow up Earth. And that is the reasonable assumption, to the point where the pros of this argument will just say that everything that contradicts it is plot-induced stupidity. And it's like, yeah, you know what? I think if your worldview makes everything kind of absurd, maybe you should interpret it slightly differently. Maybe just saying that the afterlife is just above the other realm, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And then interpreting Goku's time statements or dimensionality is a little bit, more in the Toriyama headspace. But that's how I would argue it if I was to argue, a fiction-slaying Kid Goku, per se. As there's no infinite growth at any point from the outerversal afterlife Goku to Kid Goku, or Uzaru Goku if you want to be kind of anal about it. As a fun fact, by the way, for those of you who are curious about the first time Kid Goku reaches at least moon level, technically speaking, Mercenary Tao is considered the strongest man on Earth when Kid Goku defeats him. So that would be the guarantee of when Kid Goku surpasses fatigued or rusty Master Roshi, who can blow up the moon. And obviously Master Roshi trains and get back in shape for the 22nd Budokai and King Piccolo and so on and so forth. And that's when he rivals Tien and blah, blah, blah. Also, did you know that Kami's Lookout technically takes place in a different dimension? Yeah, no, when you put the power pole and connect Kami's Lookout to Korin's Tower, it actually locks the dimensions, so you can travel to the alternate dimension of Kami's Lookout. Kami's Lookout also features a pocket dimension within it with stars and so on. It's actually kind of bizarre. So
there's a lot going on in this.
The credence of when you reach the level of God of Earth, you really are becoming like a godlike entity that can kind of just perceive this higher dimension, or this guardian dimension, whenever you want, even with the power pole removed. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this stupid video, and be sure to check out the sponsor that I linked below, and I'll hopefully see you guys very soon. Peace. God bless.
I don't remember the last time Seth did like a short video like that. That was quite interesting though. I like that it didn't go too much. He could have gone into a hell of a lot more than he did with that. But that was a fun little like look into how powerful Kid Goku actually was. So it's funny because then you take in Saiyan Saga Goku, who's just ridiculously powerful compared to all fiction. And it's like, well, Kid Goku led up to that. And it's just like, yeah, awesome stuff like that. And yeah, thanks for watching.